Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my paycheck budget for the 26th of January. So this will be my second paycheck in January 2023. I get paid fortnightly or every 2 weeks. So this money that I get should last me for the next 2 weeks into mid-February. So my income this fortnight should be regular. So last fortnight, I was lucky enough to get some annual leave loading for some annual leave I took over the holiday period. But it should be back to my regular income this time, which is $2,751.82. And then my salary packaging, which makes up the rest of my income, is $346.53. So that is what I'm expecting to get. I'm not anticipating or budgeting for any extra income or savings to be used at this time. However, I am hoping for extra income that I will get around $190. So I have recently sold my, an old phone back to an online store, and I just actually sent that phone in today when I'm recording this. And I'm recording this on a Saturday, the 21st. So hopefully sometime from the 26th onwards, they would have had time to check the phone and give me the payment for it, which is $190. However, I'm not going to add that into my budget just because I don't want to rely on that. So we'll put $0 for now, but hoping that extra money comes in, that would be lovely. Savings use nothing and other nothing. So that means for my income, I'm expecting $3,098.35, which is my regular income. In terms of bills over the next 2 weeks, I always pay my mortgage every single payday, and at the moment that is $700. That is a very good mortgage at the moment, but I will just mention that I'm currently on a fixed rate for my mortgage. So I live in Sydney, Australia. So we don't actually have here like you do in America. I know a lot of people that watch my videos are from the USA. I know a lot of people over there end up getting a fixed rate for the entire life of their mortgage. I don't even know if that's a possibility in Australia, but if it is, it's definitely not common. So we often have fixed rate periods, but they're a lot shorter. It's like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and then it kind of reverts to a variable loan. So my fixed rate period is due to expire in May or June this year, and then that will go back up to a variable rate, which is a lot higher than my current fixed rate. So I'm kind of trying to enjoy this $700 mortgage because I think it's going to be around $850 once that interest rate goes up, unfortunately, due to all the rate hikes over the last 2 years. So we'll have to see how that affects my budget when that happens. The next bill that comes out every single fortnight is my health insurance. So that is $128.60. I have recently tried to look if I can get cheaper health insurance because I feel like there's a lot of money to come out every single fortnight for something that I don't tend to use really regularly. But there's nothing. If I try and get a cheaper version, some of the things that I really want to be covered just unfortunately are not in it. So I don't want the basic version of health insurance. I do want certain things to be covered, and to do that, I guess that is just this much money at the moment, I guess. My next bill that I have just this fortnight is my car insurance. So I pay this monthly, and that is $130.52. My next monthly bill is my mobile, which is Vodafone, and that's $40. I've actually just recently, 2 months ago now, finished paying off my mobile. So this bill used to be $107. So it's now, $67 cheaper, and I'm really, really liking that, particularly now that I'm really focused on finances. And what that has made me realize is I never want to have a bill that high again. So I never want to have a phone that I am paying off. I always want to try and buy phones outright and just have a small bill like this one. So that was hopefully my plans for the future. My next bill this pay period is my electricity. So this is actually billed to me quarterly. However, on the 1st of every month, I just like to transfer money across into the account. So hopefully I'm always ahead. So I usually transfer $100 on the 1st of every month. And I do the same for my natural gas, which is next. So for natural gas, I transfer $50 on the 1st of every month. But once again, the actual bill itself comes out quarterly, but the money is in there and usually I end up a little bit ahead. So that means in total for bills this pay period, I'm expecting to pay out $1,149.12. Moving down to variable expenses. So these are pretty standard for me at the moment about the amounts I'm trying to stick to. So for petrol, I try to stick to $150, which allows me to fill up twice. Tolls, which allow me to drive on highways, freeways to and from work, is $101. Food and groceries, I'm trying to stick to $450. Household, so things like cleaning products. I recently bought some containers, toilet paper. I'm aiming for $50. Health, I'm also aiming for $50, so any medications, band-aids, anything vitamins, anything health related I'd put under that. One thing I'm having a bit of difficulty with at the moment, or not really difficulty, I guess I just want some advice, because since I've started this budgeting, one thing I'm considering is with my expense tracking. So I'm currently tracking every single expense, and I do all of my grocery shopping in one go. So I buy food, household and health all at the same time, mostly from Woolworths. And I don't know, in the past I've never kind of categorized it out. I've always just put groceries in one lump sum, but I think I really want to start categorizing out. So when I went to Woolworths this past week, for example, I was able to break down my receipt and realize that $60 something went to food and $20 went to household. But that is taking a lot of extra time. So I'm just wondering how other people manage that. Do you do different receipts for different categories, different budget categories? Do you just not break them down? Do you lump them all under groceries? I just want to know what other people are doing. So if you do have a good strategy for that, if you can let me know in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. For personal this budget, I will try to keep that to $50. And then I also always aim to do $50 miscellaneous for any unknown expenses that might come up. So that means for variable spending, I'm aiming to spend under $901. Moving down to my sinking funds. So I already have them all listed out here because they're the same throughout the year. I do plan to put my starting balances in at the start of every paycheck here. So that way this spreadsheet can then total my starting balance, plus how much I put in, minus how much I've spent, and give me a total over in this column. However, because I am filming this before my last pay period has ended, I don't actually have all of the starting balances quite yet. So I have filled in the ones that I know, which they're all $0, except for our $300 for council rates is already sitting in there, as that is what I have already put in for my last paycheck. The ones that I have left blank are because I'm unsure I'm going to have any money left over from my last pay period to put into them. So I've left them blank, but I'll make sure to update them before this paycheck actually starts, and I can share with you what they're like at the end of this pay period when we go over the closing of the budget. But in terms of what I'm budgeting for sinking funds this paycheck, I'm only going to put into one again. So most of these are $0. So the one sinking fund I'm now working on is my car registration. So that is due, it's the end of Feb, early March, and that is usually around $1,200, so $1,200. So I really, really need to throw money into this fund to get that big expense covered. So this pay period will put in $300, and the rest of them will just be $0 for now. So all $0. So we're only going to aim to put in $300 into sinking funds, and it's all to my car registration. Moving down to the last part of my budget are my debt savings and investments. So obviously I'm not putting anything towards investments at the moment because I'm still got some really high interest debt that I want to get rid of. Savings, these are my two saving goals for the year. I haven't yet started saving for them, but I am focused on debt, so I'm going to actually put $0 towards both of them for now. I will start saving for them after I've paid off maybe my first debt. So looking at my debt, a bit of a problem I am having at the moment, as I get paid every 2 weeks, a lot of my credit card bills are all due at the same time, and that means they all end up falling within the same pay period. So what I've noticed when I've kind of planned out my budget for the next few months is that one paycheck I receive in the month, I have a lot of extra money left over because I don't really have any credit card bills due. And the next one, I have pretty much no money left over and I'm really tight because all my credit card bills are due. So this is one of those paychecks, unfortunately. I have been considering ringing up the bank and trying to change one or two of the due dates, so the different times in the month. However, I've recently gone over all of my bills, and what I've realized is basically credit card 1 and 2 are both due on the last day of the month. Credit card 3 is due on the 4th of the month. So close together, but credit card 1 and 2, their bills actually arrive in like my email on the 10th of the month. So even though they're not due until the 30th, they arrive 20 days beforehand. So I think what I'm going to do to save myself the hassle of calling her bank and trying to change things is just start to pay at least one of these two in the earlier paycheck of the month. Even though it's not due yet, I'll pay it a bit early and hopefully save some interest on that. So that's what you'll hopefully see either from February or March. I'll start implementing that to see how that works. But for this paycheck, I do have to pay all of them. So basically what that means is for my credit card number 1, the monthly minimum is around $100, credit card number 2, $115, and credit card number 3 is $275. So hopefully these big payments will be a lot easier when I can split them over 2 paychecks. Now my personal loan, that does come out every single fortnight on payday, and that is $213.90. And my family loan down here I have not yet started repaying that, so that is $0 for now. My business debt is the debt I'm really trying to target and be my first goal to pay off. So what I've been doing is any extra money I have in my budget gets thrown towards this. So what I'll do is if I scroll down, I can see here in my budget that we currently have $44.33 remaining after all of this is paid off. So we'll add that in. And then now if we are to scroll down, we have $0 left. So that means we've done a zero-based budget. So this is how I am hoping my budget will go over the next 2 weeks. We are putting a big amount of debt towards debt in these 2 weeks, so that is a good thing to get that paid down. But otherwise, hopefully nothing too exciting happens and this all goes to plan. So we'll see. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Leave me any comments down below, any suggestions, open to absolutely anything. And otherwise, I will see you guys in midweek to actually close out my January 1st paycheck budget. Thank you. Bye.